Hello everyone, welcome to another Soulstone Survivor build. I'm Hijack, I'm here with my dog back here, and we are going to be talking about a Machinist build that uses ammunition, and so we're going to be using the only ammunition weapon that this character has, the second one, right? And the two skills here, they both gain ammunition, right? Even the artifact skill gains ammunition. Couple important things. The artifact power and the second skill here gives Shattered. So Shattered reduces armor power by enemies for certain amount of time. And then the first trait here gives ammunition, and then it does have Brutal, which does more damage based on how close you are to an enemy. So you kind of want to try to be close to enemies if possible with that one. But honestly, it does a good amount of damage even if you're kind of far away, so it's pretty versatile. So let's take a look at our runes here. First two, we got Weapon Expert, Reroll Mastery, nothing new there. You could, instead of using like Material Harvest, you could probably use, I don't know, something else in here. I think there is room for maybe a little bit of optimization here. I'll talk about that in a second. And the runes, we have one that gives extra damage for every stack of Burn and Shattered. It does cap at 25%. We have Lord's Bane. This just gives flat 25% damage boost when a Lord of the Void is alive. Very good. We have Executioner, which gives up to 20% extra damage for, based on how many negative effects are on a target. We're pretty much going to get this automatically. So we'll have this max 20% damage bonus. And then we have Armor Piercing Rounds. This is really good as well. So it increases our damage modifier by 15% for 5 seconds whenever we consume stacks of ammunition. We'll be doing that constantly. So we are going to have tons of damage from that. Going to have 25% damage from that pretty much all the time, 20% damage from that, and 25% damage from this. I think I didn't use the extended magazines here. So you could go further into ammunition, I think. But I think I found that, or you could get like efficiency focus, which reduces the number of stacks of, like, say, ammunition that you need to trigger the effect. And just so we're clear, so what ammunition does, ammunition, whenever you cast a skill, if you have 20 stacks of ammunition, you're going to add 5 charges of multicast to the skill being used, right? Basically means you cast the skill 5 times, right? Pretty good. So any of our ammunition skills are going to have that effect, right? Where they could, consume ammunition, right? And trigger, 5 times, essentially, right? So we're going to get a couple of, let me see here, right? Of ammunition skills, okay? We're also going to be using a couple fire skills. So Combustion applies burn to enemies around us. And then Flame Wave, right, applies burn and Shattered to enemies around us as well. So those two are area around us. I like this build because you're kind of hitting everyone around you with different things, right? And then you could look, I think Shrapnel Shot is good because it applies bleed. It also gains ammunition. And the last skill, not entirely sure what's best. Leave a message in the comments if you find something. But I think you could do any of the other ammunition skills, like Napalm Blast or like Weakening Shot, or Explosive Shot. So we'll just take one of those and just see how it goes. I've done this before with Weakening Shot. I don't know if the direct damage from Exposed helps us that much, though, so I might go for something else, like, Napalm Blast or Explosive Shot. Okay, let's try it out. Get in here, and I will make sure I have full curse on. Put this on. Usually test the builds without that, just to make things a little simpler. We're at full curse. Let's see how this goes. So we are going to be triggering a lot of different effects for a couple different reasons. This character, you can see we have like an aura around us, right? That is the Unstable Reactor ability, our first weapon skill, and it does more damage the closer we are to an enemy. So if we want to do a lot of damage with that, we can get close. But it's still, you can tell, like, even being kind of far away, it still does a lot of damage. The other skill is shrapnel. I think shrapnel something. Let me see. We can check what it is. Oh. Shrapnel spiral, right? And that shoots kind of like a machine gun around us. I'm going to go ahead and get his skill here so you can see what it looks like. Now, this is prismatic cannon. You can see the beam that I'm firing. And prismatic cannon is interesting in that it applies a lot of negative effects, so it helps us stack our executioner buff, right, for added damage, right? And you can see right now, I mean, it's like killing things instantly, so it's like, you know, yeah, but you can see there, look how many effects that it already triggers, right? You're already getting basically max executioner damage bonus from that. Alright, let's level here before we encounter these Lords of the Void. So area is really good, so we'll grab that. We'll roll until we get one of the skills that I mentioned. We can go ahead and take either of these. I'm not sure that, you know, what's better. Let's take Napalm Blast. Area modifier, again, very good. We can take that again. Reroll here until we get another of the ones that we want. Like Flame Wave, great. Increasing the prismatic cannon damage is also honestly just great for this character. It does so much damage. Damage for Flame Wave. Again, reroll. There's Shrapnel Shot. Multicast. We'll do damage for our skills for now. Hopefully we can find Combustion. There we go. So now we're set up. So now you're going to see two circles around us. Okay, one, the larger one for now is the Unstable Reactor. And then the smaller one is from Combustion. But I like, see how quick that was? And then you can see the other things that are circling around us, okay? That is from our artifact. So that also applies Shattered. And you can see it does, you know, decent damage. And it can trigger, based on how often our skills cast, right? That artifact ability will trigger more often. Alright, so let's grab here. So we have, I think area of effect for the Combustion is really nice, at least until you get like around the size of the screen, which is a lot, but that really can be helpful. Damage for our skills. You could Rapid Barrage, I think again you could take this like instead of the Napalm Blast, but we're gonna leave it as is for now. Get area modifier. Reroll this. Cast frequency is important. So remember, a lot of these skills, you cast them, you get ammunition. So if you cast more often, you get more ammunition. And then once you get 20 stacks of ammunition, your skill gets like extra multicast. So that's useful. This is good. So crit chance for skills that aren't fire. Pretty good. I don't really care for the defense right now, so we'll reroll it. There's crit. Crit's good. Speed is really good. This guy's kind of slow, I think. So having a little bit of speed is good. Multicast for Flame Wave is also good. More speed. Area. So one thing that I do like, is getting like bleed and burn going. So this will give all of our attacks bleed. I think that that's actually quite useful. So we'll grab that. All attacks burn. See, that's this one right here. I think that's good just to grab it. And then an experience modifier is always nice. So we're going to be rocking and rolling here. Like, the damage is going to be very high. Seems like my dog moved to be closer to me. Very sweet pup. Alright. Yeah. Things have trouble getting close with this build. Alright, let's see what we can do. Yeah, look at that. Not bad at all. Alright. Cool, more levels. So we can get more burn, that's fine. Multicast of some of our skills. Area modifier. I think we want a general area modifier. I think that's going to be better, because that didn't apply to our flame wave or combustion. Speed is also good. Oh, why not? Damage for prismatic cannon. Crits can now bleed, so now we could, you know, we can grab this and try to go more into crit. Yeah, multicast here. It's good. More crit chance. Damage. Kind of increased damage of bleed, I think, is good. That's good. Okay. Oh, there's some more experience over here. Nice. There we go. I'll turn down the VFX a little bit here, but you can see at least, like, even if you turn down the special effects, like, you can still see around, you know, where the circle ends, which is nice. We definitely want to get the combustion to be a little bit larger. It's a little bit small right now. Alright, we have our prismatic cannon activated. These things are gonna just go down with that. Yeah. You get the prismatic cannon honed on them, and that's about it. Okay, got another 10 levels here. Alright, area modifier for flame. Now that's good. That'll help our combustion and flame wave. So we'll grab that. I think we'll re-roll. Try to get something a little better. This is good. Multicast, damage modifier, cast frequency, damage. Okay. Just grab things quick here. Experience. Just grab crit. Okay. Nice. Okay. A couple more waves of Lord of the Void here. Get the prismatic cannon online. I think the fact his prismatic cannon is so strong. Like, it's like just makes him crazy good, I feel like. They just all fell. Look at that. And you can see that we stack, like, ammunition, but then, like, we immediately basically use it. So it is constantly increasing our damage modifier. Go get some gems over here. Okay, we got some levels. Area modifier. Let's see. Crit. Okay. Increase burn damage. Don't really need area modifier for those. Well, I mean, it doesn't hurt, so we can do it. Increase prismatic cannon damage. Why not? Get more speed. I think that is kind of useful for him. This is really good. Intense fire. Burn damage applies more frequently. Okay, now our skill, flame, or core, whatever, the big circle is now, quite big. Get this fire guy. There we go. There we go. Under 7 minutes. Not bad. We'll go ahead and do one round of this. I think it won't take too long. So we'll do one round of the Overlord cycle. Just to give you an idea, it's still quite potent. Like, you know, at this point. In this area, you definitely want to turn down your VFX so you can see the enemy abilities better. I feel like in the normal areas, like before you get into Overlord or Endless, it's not that big a deal, but once you get here, you definitely want to be able to see all of the enemy abilities, because they hurt. And feel free to try some other, like ammunition skills and see which ones you like better. In place of, like, the one that we have now, which is Shrapnel Shot and Napalm Blast, you know? You might like ones better than those, but I think it's fine. Like, the core build is going to stay the same. And I love Combustion. Combustion is just, you know, applying burn to everyone around you is very nice. Alright, let's do this. Area modifier. We don't really need area modifier for those skills, so we'll reroll. That's good. Increase bleed damage. Cast frequency. Multicast, that's good. So at this point, I do prioritize defenses a little more. So we can grab health. I think that's useful. Damage. Magnetic. I guess we don't really need that. I don't feel like. Grab that. Cast frequency, damage. Damage. Crit. Damage. Okay. More speed. Multicast. Okay. There we go. Not bad. Able to stay in there while I'm taking them out. Alright. Ooh, apply slow. I think I'll take this instead, though. I don't think... I mean, I guess we can grab area modifier. I don't think that's the greatest thing, but... Damage, cast frequency, multicast. Okay. Prismatic cannon online. Gonna help a lot here. Still got hit once, but we're alright. They're next to them. There we go. I do like that, like, it's not a requirement to get close to the enemies. Like, because we have such a large area, it does help, because the closer we are to enemies, the more damage our primary weapon skill does, because it has brutal. But it's not necessary, right? Like, we do so much damage just, like, in general. Okay, let me grab a couple more things here before we get to this. So let's focus a little on crit, if we see it. Prismatic cannon. More area on that. Area is going to have diminishing returns at this point, so we'll probably want to focus more on damage. Because we're already, like, the area that we're hitting is already, you know, almost the whole screen, so... That Vicious Strikes is good. I guess duration of the cannon, right? Area modifier for those is great, though. That's for the skills that we need the area modifier for, right? Yeah, now basically, you know, the whole screen. Where is this guy? There he is. Nice. Okay. Yep. Pre-11 minutes. Not bad. Well, let's take a look at our damage here. We'll end it there and take a look at our damage. Yeah, so you see the unstable reactor, which is our primary weapon skill, right? The one that has brutal, did the most damage. Part of that is because it is, like, our furthest ability. It's the big circle that's around us, so it's hitting everything that comes near us. Napalm Blast is the other one, so I think Napalm Blast is a contender for maybe one of the better ammunition skills you can grab. And then you have, far off of that, you have Combustion, right? And let's see what our damage from the passive skills was. So Burn, Spontaneous Combustion, right? Doing a lot. Brutal Strikes and Bloodshed also doing a good amount, right? So I think in general, right, the build has a kind of a mix of things, right? It doesn't, you know, definitely ammunition's the top primary focus here, because you can see that the ammunition skills are doing the most damage, right? Unstable Reactor and Napalm Blast. But I think the fire is also helping a lot, right? You know, if you look at the passive damage here from Spontaneous Combustion. So I think it's pretty cool. Let me know what you think in the comments, and please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next build video.